Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and you're watching Study IQ IS English. In our today's video, we'll try to understand what is the process and procedure for removal of the Chief Election Commissioner of India from office. And the reason why we have picked up this topic is because opposition parties in India, led by the Trinamool Congress, they have decided to introduce a motion in the parliament in order to impeach the Chief Election Commissioner of India, Mr. Gyanesh Kumar. Now, they have levied multiple allegations on the Chief Election Commissioner of India. They are saying that he is biased towards the ruling party in the center, so much so that it can be seen in the conduct of election commission as they are specifically targeting the state of West Bengal during the process of special intensive revision of the voter roll. Now, election commission, what it did, that it deployed micro observers to review the taken of the revision of the voter roll exercise. They deployed micro observers in order to review the process which was done by the West Bengal government. So that is why West Bengal government, which is led by Trinamool Congress, they are thinking that the conduct of election commissioner is biased. Now, these allegations per se, they are not important from the exam's perspective. What is important is the process and procedure of the removal of the Chief Election Commissioner, and that is what we are going to cover in our today's video. Now, the notes which I will be using in our today's session, in case if you want to download them, you can go to a particular Telegram channel called as ATS Live. And while you're at it, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel also. Okay, so let us start by understanding what is the process and procedure for removal of the Chief Election Commissioner of India. Now, this can be seen in the Constitution of India, specifically under Article 324. If you read the Article 324 of the Constitution, it says that the process for removal is subjected to provisions of any law made by the parliament in that matter. And if you look at the law which was passed in 2023, the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners appointment, conditions of service and term of office act, it says specifically, the section 11 of this act says that the resignation and removal process, it is the same process as mentioned in the Constitution. So you must be thinking, what is the process of removal of Chief Election Commissioner mentioned in the Constitution? For that, we have to refer to Article 324, subsection 5 of the Constitution. This article, if you read it correctly, it says that the Chief Election Commissioner shall not be removed from office except in the manner and on the grounds which is the same manner and grounds as the judge of Supreme Court in India. So the process of removal of a judge of Supreme Court in India is the same as the process of removal of the Chief Election Commissioner of India as well. Similarly, what about other election commissioners? Because presently Election Commission has 3 election commissioners. One of them is the Chief Election Commissioner and other 2 are designated as election commissioners. So election commissioners and their removal is a bit different than the Chief Election Commissioner, because this particular provision of the Constitution says that election commissioners can only be removed from office based on the recommendation of whom? Chief Election Commissioner. So what does this provision say to you? The removal of the Chief Election Commissioner is both different as well as difficult as compared to the other election commissioners. So how is the Chief Election Commissioner removed? It is the same process and procedure as the judge of the Supreme Court. So for that, what is the removal of a judge of the Supreme Court? That will tell us how we can, or anyone can, remove Chief Election Commissioner from office. For that, we have to refer to Article 124, particularly subsection 4 of this Article 124 of the Constitution. It says that the Supreme Court judge can be removed based on very limited amount of grounds. What are those grounds? Those are proved misbehavior and incapacity. So only on these 2 grounds you can remove a judge of Supreme Court, and therefore you can also remove the Chief Election Commissioner, because both of the process are same. Now, if you take a look at any political disagreement or criticism, these are not enough to remove any Chief Election Commissioner or any judge of Supreme Court. Rather, you have to prove this allegation of wrongdoing through an inquiry process, and that is why the process of removal becomes a bit more complex, and these are designated or regulated by 2 specific provisions. One is Article 124 of the Constitution and another one is Judges Inquiry Act 1968. So let us look at both of these provisions to understand deeply how you can remove the Chief Election Commissioner. First, let us understand Section 3 of the Judges Inquiry Act 1968. This section of the Judges Inquiry Act, it states, whenever you have to remove a chief election commissioner, you can do so by bringing a motion in the parliament. Now, if you have to introduce these motions in the parliament, you need to fulfill certain procedures. First of all, if you are introducing this motion in Lok Sabha, you need signature of at least 100 MPs of Lok Sabha. On the other hand, if you're introducing this in Rajya Sabha, you need signatures of at least 50 MPs of Rajya Sabha. So only then these motions will be introduced in the floor of the House. Second portion is who you should submit this motion to. This motion should be submitted to the presiding officer of the House, which in case of Lok Sabha is the Speaker of Lok Sabha, and in the case of Rajya Sabha, it is the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Who is the Chairman of Rajya Sabha? Let me know in the comment section. Okay. Now, it is up to the discretion of the presiding officer of the House, that is Speaker of Lok Sabha or the Chairperson of Rajya Sabha, in order to accept or to reject this motion. Suppose if they accept this motion of removal, then it has to go separate procedure. If it is rejected by the presiding officer House, the motion stands to be defeated. So let us understand what happens if it is accepted by the presiding officer of the House. Now, if the motion of removal of Chief Election Commissioner or judges of the Supreme Court, if they are accepted by the presiding officer of the House, then they set up a 3-member inquiry committee. Now, this 3-member inquiry committee consists of a Supreme Court judge, it consists of Chief Justice of a particular High Court in India, and a distinguished jurist. Now, what this 3-member inquiry committee does, it investigates whether the charges or allegations of misbehavior levied on Chief Election Commissioner or a judge of Supreme Court stands to be true or not. So, this is the part and parcel of this inquiry committee. Now, let us suppose this inquiry committee discharges the inquiry, and then it has to submit the report to the presiding officer of the House, and this brings forward two kinds of possibilities. Suppose in this inquiry and the report which the inquiry committee submits, it does not find the allegations of having any merit, or the charges itself is not proven, this process stops itself and the CEC or the judge of Supreme Court won't be removed from office. But on the other hand, if the charges of any misbehavior or incapacity is proven by this committee report, then a motion will be moved forward in the parliament, and this motion goes for voting. Now, to pass this motion in either house of the Indian Parliament, you need to follow another procedure, and this is given in Article 124 subsection 4 of the Constitution. This article 124 subsection 4 of the Constitution says that both houses of the Parliament independently need to pass this motion with what kind of majority? With what is known as special majority. Now, this special majority becomes very important. Now, to pass this motion by special majority, you need to fulfill two conditions simultaneously. First is the majority of total membership, and the word here is and. Please remember, it is not given or if it would have been given, we would have to fulfill one of these two conditions. Since it is given and, we have to fulfill both of these conditions simultaneously. Let me say again, the first condition that you need to pass this by majority of total membership, and the second condition is that 2/3 of members should vote for it who are present and voting. Okay, so let me give you a hypothetical scenario. Suppose at any given day there are 300 MPs in Lok Sabha who are present and voting, and out of these 300 MPs, if 210 MPs vote for removal of this particular Chief Election Commissioner of India in the Lok Sabha, will it lead to removal from office or not? Please do let me know in the comment section about this hypothetical scenario. Now, this voting needs to occur in the same parliamentary session, but this voting itself, if it is, or this motion, if it is passed by special majority, in itself it is not sufficient for removal of the Chief Election Commissioner or the Judge of Supreme Court. This motion will be given to the President of India, and President of India will issue a formal order which will then remove the Chief Election Commissioner of India. So this is the entire part and parcel of how you can remove a Chief Election Commissioner or a Judge of Supreme Court from the office, based on which ground? On proven misbehavior and incapacity. Okay. Now you must be thinking, why is there such a strict provision to remove a important constitutional functionary like a judge of Supreme Court or the Chief Election Commissioner of India, you need to understand why we have such strict procedures. First of all, what is the purpose of Election Commission of India? Election Commission of India, it is an independent body, a constitutional authority which conducts both national and state elections. Not just this, it also regulates the conduct of political parties and it enforces model code of conduct, which is very essential to create a level playing field between the ruling parties and the opposition parties whenever they face an election. So you need a kind of constitutional functionary who should discharge their obligations without any partiality, and for that you need strict protections to be levied against their removal. If these strict protections were not there, don't you think the government could have easily removed any Chief Election Commissioner of India, and this would make the office prone to be impartiality, right? So in order to prevent this office from being politically manipulated, we have such strict procedures for their removal. Now, any removal attempt done by such political parties, even if they are introduced in the parliament of the house, you need to understand these are mostly done with the purpose of political signaling. Until unless there is no broad party based support for any such removal, the removal of either Chief Election Commissioner or any Supreme Court judge is not possible. And that is why up till now in the history of independent India, no judge of Supreme Court or even High Court or a Chief Election Commissioner has been removed from office, because the process itself is very strict. Why the process is strict? Because they are constitutional functionaries who should be able to discharge their responsibilities without any fear or favor, and that is why, to prevent them from being politically manipulated, we have such strict procedures. Okay, now before we move on to the question that have appeared in the UPSC exam based on the exact discussions we have, you need to understand right now we are in the process of giving discounts on all the courses that are offered in Study IQ. For example, in the Safalta Day sale, you are getting 60% off plus double validity on all the courses, and this is going to end very soon. To get this benefit, not just take admissions to any of the courses, but if you apply the code ATS Live, you're going to get maximum discounts that are available on the platform. So please hurry up, do not delay, and take admissions as soon as possible and be on the path which will allow us to get you selected in the UPSC exam. Okay, now this is the question that has appeared in 2017 exam. Consider the following statement. These are related to the conduct of elections in India. It will be very easy. If you are trying to solve it, please do let me know the correct answers in the comment section. And the ones who are waiting to download the notes, they are going to be available on this particular Telegram channel, ATS Live. If you have any problem in locating the channel, you can obviously scan this QR code as well. They'll bring you straight away to the channel. And yes, do not forget to subscribe to it. So this is all from my side for today. I wish you a very good night. We'll see each other again tomorrow.